Hello, everyone. So today I am recording in the back of my car because it is the only place that I can guarantee that I won't be bothered by people or my cats or really anything. There's no distractions here, and it's great. Anyway, so if you hear any strange noises, for example, my mom's German Shepherd trying to break into the car to get attention, just ignore it. It's fine. I'm not being brutally murdered or nobody's trying to it's fine. Anyway, so first of all, I would like to discuss a little bit about this piece. I really like the pastel goth aesthetic, and my main problem is I can't pull it off very well. So naturally, I just end up drawing a lot of pastel goth art to make up for the fact that I can never be pastel goth because, it just wouldn't look good on me. It's one of those things. Some people would look great covered in, pastel clothing from head to toe. I would not. And I fully accept that. So I've just decided to move on with my life in regards to that. Anyway, so I'm gonna definitely be doing more pieces like this. I really like the whole, almost like a motivational poster vibe, and I'm pretty sure that if you've been paying attention to my Instagram, you've noticed that my feed recently has been similar themes, like just little small poster type things that don't quite look like motivational posters, but they kind of are in the style of them. I'm putting those up all over my house. So, great. Cool. Anyway, so here's the topic that you all came here for, why I do art. And spoiler alert, it is about as petty as anybody who knows me would expect it to be. So if you know me well at all, you know what you're about to be getting. And it is about to be hilarious and, just absolutely full of me doing things purely out of spite. So, the first time I remember thinking that I wanted to do art as a career was whenever I was like 4 or 5. I had received a strawberry shortcake themed art kit from somebody for my birthday that year, I think. And I was having a blast with it. It was so much fun, and I was putting stamps and crayon all over everything that I could reach. My parents were probably freaking out, wondering if it would ever come off the walls, all that. So, naturally, 5-year-old me is asked what I want to be when I grow up. At some point, I can't remember when exactly I was asked this, but I do remember saying, I want to be an artist. And, of course, the first thing to come out of the nearest adult's mouth was, that is not a real job. I'm sorry, honey, that's not a real job. 5-year-old me just kind of ignored it. I was just like, well, I like art, so I'm gonna do art. And it kind of went on this way for several years. And throughout the years, I would often hear similar things to this whenever I mentioned that I liked art or that I wanted to do something creative with my life. For example, painting, writing, whatever. If I mention wanting to do something that somehow did not involve what other people consider real work, then I got told it was not a real job and that I should find something else to do with my life. Anyway, this did not start to deter me until I was about 13 or 14. I got into an argument with one of my siblings, I think. I could be wrong. And things between siblings aren't always the best. So sometimes siblings can just be evil and cruel, and it's not fun. And this one time, my younger sister, I believe, she said, well, your art isn't even that good anyway. You'll never be an artist. And that, at the time, just kind of crushed me. Whenever you're a kid, people are always comparing you to other people, and I had been compared to other people before negatively. You know, for example, my friends, and sometimes my siblings. I was pretty much always compared negatively to people in my life at the time. So that just crushed me. And at that point, I stopped drawing for about 2 years. That wasn't really the best decision, I'll be honest. It was, don't ever stop drawing because somebody tells you you're bad at it. Anyway, so fast forward a couple of years, and I am in high school. I am dating this guy. And for some fucking reason, I dated him for 2 years, even though he seemed to have this huge problem with me liking art, because at this time I had finally started to get back into art again. You know, I was drawing, trying to like figure out new techniques and stuff and just get better. And he did not seem to enjoy my enthusiasm for art. He would tell me things like, you know, I think you like art more than me, and if it comes down to it, I think you'd probably choose art over me if you were given a chance, which is bullshit, because anybody who knows me knows that, you know, if I'm friends with somebody or I'm dating somebody, I am a ride or die bitch. I will drop everything for that person, even if it is detrimental to me personally. So, anyway, beyond the fact that this was absolute bullshit, this was one of the things that he brought up when we broke up. And he said, after he finished saying his piece about how he thought art was more important than me, well, art was more important than him, sorry, he decided that he was gonna say, actually, your art isn't even that good, and you'll never ever become an artist, and, you know, everybody I know is just so much better at art, and just, you know, typical hurtful things that you would say to somebody you're breaking up with to get them to never speak to you again. So, yeah, that happened. And after this point, that was pretty much what cemented my plan to use art as my career, because by this point I had become a very spiteful bitch, which everybody who knows me already knows that, but you know, I primarily operate out of spite, so the fact that this man was telling me that I could never make art my career was, you know, the deciding factor in me trying to make art my career. For, like, the next few months, though, I didn't really do anything. Senior year of high school for me was very stressful, so I did not have time to do art, or the inclination to try to figure out how I was going to make art my career. But then I started dating the absolute love of my life, a wonderful human being who I am so glad every day that he is in my life, and I would never, ever, ever trade him for the world. And this man finds out that I like art, and he tells me he wants to see my art. At this point, I have never had anybody in my life show this much interest in my art. And so naturally, I start talking to him about art, and he tells me that he loves my art, and that he thinks that if it makes me happy, I should do whatever I can to become an artist as my career. And, of course, that really inspired me to just kind of get up off my ass and actually do shit. You know, the whole spiteful, I'm gonna be an artist because you told me not to be thing was the original motivation, but this man telling me I should do what makes me happy and tell everybody else to fuck off? Yeah. Anyway, he inspired me and just, I really, like, I didn't get the whole trope of every artist has their muse or whatever that everybody seems to say. You know, I didn't get that until I started dating the guy that I'm with now, because he really is just, like, constantly motivating me and constantly supportive and constantly there for me in ways that most other people in my life just aren't. And it's a really great feeling. If you ever find somebody who is 100% supportive of you and has your back for whatever you want to do with your life, keep them in your life. If you get rid of them, you are stupid. After we had been dating for about 8 or 9 months, I created my art Instagram, which was last September. And ever since then, the rest has just been history. I have been having a ball with my art. My boyfriend has been extremely supportive and extremely loving, and it makes me very happy to have him in my life. And I am doing my best to become an artist 100% out of spite and out of inspiration from my current boyfriend. And I don't really have much else to say now, so I'm probably just gonna put in some music or something after the end of this audio so that you guys can at least be hearing something throughout the remainder of the video, because I know that this isn't gonna last the entire video. Anyway, have a great day, and remember that if somebody tells you not to do something that makes you happy, you should tell them to fuck off.